looking at these illnesses, so I think the understanding now is that schizophrenia tags a group of many diverse diseases that likely begin with some genetic risk, and then the disease process might begin as early as in the womb, where the fetus is exposed to environmental factors that might derail neurodevelopment in some way that we don't fully understand, and that years later manifests as a first psychotic illness, more than a decade later. So these disease processes that are very diverse and still quite mysterious result in an illness that, as a physician, I can reliably recognize much later. The illness at the point that I interact with it is new, but the disease is likely quite old at that point. And so there's still a lot of work to be done to figure out how this neurodevelopmental story goes awry and what are the opportunities for us to intervene even earlier before we currently can to further improve outcomes. So there's broadly speaking, a very exciting research agenda that I feel very excited about for the rest of my career to be able to participate in many different ways. On the clinical side, which is to say, once a person has an illness that we identify, how can we marshal our existing treatments to do the best we can? I think we've made progress, and there's still much more progress to be done. I think the task of our work in Connecticut with the Learning Collaborative feels like a really exciting challenge to meet, which is we have the confidence based on our own data that our interventions can make a real impact. What we have to figure out now is how to interface with the expertise of multiple different clinical actors in a state and together raise the level of care we provide, both in terms of the rapidity of access and the outcomes of treatment, the quality of treatment. And this feels like another kind of exploration. Both sides have the potential to have a great impact, but they are different kinds of work, and I'm excited for both. And in both cases, I still feel like I'm sort of at the beginning. But at this age and stage in my career, I feel much more confident that uncertainties and gaps and challenges are not going to be seen as a reason to stop, but a reason to further explore. I think in our better moments, our curiosity is what we should be driving us to make improvements. And of course, we want to do the best we can with what we have and keep high standards. But there's a lot that's not known about both the illness on the one hand and about how to disseminate care in healthcare systems on the other. These are things that we don't know how to do very well. But I think we're taking an approach where we're trying to measure how we're doing very carefully against the lives of and the outcomes of our patients, and error correct as we go.
So those gaps